Welcome back. The plague popping up in Colorado, sparking concern over a potential outbreak.
And KRDO News Channel 13's Dr. John Torres joins us for this Medical Monday. How's it going, Dr. John?
It's going great. How are you guys doing today?
Doing all right. Now, we have the deer in the Colorado Springs area that tested positive for the plague. Guess that's never happened in El Paso County.
Right, and
so
usually it's
real
small.
concerned
It's
here.
really smaller animals usually, but the deer is one of those things that a lot of people see in a lot of their yards, and to see that's one of those things that has us concerned. Well, there's actually 3 different types of the plague, or 3 ways it can affect you. The most common, that's the bubonic plague. That's usually contracted when an infected rodent or flea bites somebody. Bubonic plague infects your immune system. That causes inflammation. When bacteria multiply, then they can get into the lungs, and then you have pneumonic plague. That's the most serious form of the disease. When a person with pneumonic plague coughs, the bacteria from their lungs gets expelled into the air, and other people can catch it. If untreated, both bubonic and pneumonic plague can actually lead to septicemic plague, and that can be a problem because septicemic plague is what unfortunately killed Taylor Gase up in Fort Collins a few weeks ago. And again, it has a high mortality rate, and it's one of those things you have to take very, very seriously. Any type of plague.
So what are some of the symptoms? If you're coughing, is there a certain?
If you're coughing, that's pneumonic plague or septicemic plague. Bubonic plague is usually muscle aches, and you get lymph nodes, and we all get lymph nodes in our necks when we get a sore throat. Those things swell up a little bit. Well, they can swell up hugely. Golf ball size, softball size, they can be very, very large. That's bubonic plague.
So the health department is posting some flyers on people's doors in the neighborhood where that deer was found. What should people know to stay safe if they're concerned about
the
this?
main thing is, and everybody does this, and I commend them for trying to take care of sick animals, but don't, especially this time of year, because if the animal's sick, they're sick for a reason, and especially if it's a deer or a squirrel or any small animal, prairie dogs, just leave them alone, because if those fleas get on you and bite you, you can then get the plague, and of course, like we talked about, it can change to different forms, and some forms can be deadly.
Yeah, and a good warning for children as well.
Yeah,
exactly.
And cardiovascular disease we're talking about next.
It's the leading cause of death here in the United States still, and one of those ones we need to really take seriously. But half of those deaths could actually be prevented if more people would simply modify some risk factors that are tied to the disease. Emory University researchers analyzed data from state and national health surveys from 2009 to 2010. They found the number of people dying from cardiovascular disease, we're talking heart attacks and strokes, could be cut by as much as 50%. The top 5 leading preventable risk factors for heart disease are elevated cholesterol, diabetes, high blood pressure, obesity, and yes, smoking. So again, this is one of those things that you really have to be careful with because, again, it's the biggest killer, easily modifiable things you can do, though, to help prevent it.
All right. Thanks so much, Dr. John. We will see you on Thursday.
See you on Thursday, and happy 4th, but I'll be here Thursday, so I'll see you then.
There we go. All right, thanks.
We'll be right back.